welcome to my channel. It's Christina at Homeschool and Grace. And today's video is going to be a shortened version, and I will link up here and down below the longer version, but this is the short version today of how to teach multiple kids. How to homeschool multiple children, or how to homeschool multiple ages. And like I said, I'll have that longer video linked, but today's video I just wanted it to be short and quick so that you can, if you're new to this and you have a lot of kids that all of a sudden you're homeschooling, or you're getting to where you have more kids because you have more kids that are getting older and ready for homeschool, that this way you can see how I do it in my home. That's what I'm going to share with you today. Like I said, the longer version has everything you need to know, different ways, different views on it, different ways to do different grades, and this is just how I homeschool multiple kids. And so I have my cup of tea today, and so pull up your cup of tea or your cup of coffee and pull up a seat and let's sit down and talk homeschooling. So if you are new here, I am a homeschooling mom to 5 daughters, and I homeschool all of them. I have ages 13 down to 3 years old. And so obviously I do a lot with some and very little with some of them as well. So we hit the range of amount of school. It's not just everyone is needing a lot from me. There's different things. We're in different seasons with each of them. But we use My Father's World. We have used My Father's World now for, oh my goodness, 7 years now. And it has been a delight for our homeschooling. It has made it so easy. And so I just wanted to share with you how I teach multiple ages. 5 is a lot to homeschool, and it can feel overwhelming. And each year may look a little different because as they grow, their needs are more for schooling, or they may be less from you, but they are needing to do more. And then as the little ones, if you have babies and they're growing up into preschool age, they're going to want to start doing school, and you're going to want to start doing something with them at home. Maybe a little more focused, just to have that focused time with them. Okay, so right now I'm using 3 teacher's manuals from My Father's World, and I'm going to go through with you my schedule from start to finish. Okay, so to start with, in the morning, we start around 8:30 a.m. That's when everyone is up, breakfast is made, and we're sitting down. I consider 8:30 like our sit down time. So that's when we sit and we eat breakfast together, and I typically do Bible with all my children. I have some in the family cycle. I have 3 in the family cycle right now this year. That hasn't, always been. This is the first year we have 3 in there. And so I use the Bible from the oldest, and we all sit down together while we eat breakfast, and we do Bible time. My littles may play if they finished up before we finish Bible. Everyone has a Bible, and we sit down and do that together. After that, I get my older ones doing their independent work that they can do independently. So, if it's math, if it's language arts, a language lesson for English. Let's see, what else could it be? A writing project that they're supposed to be working on, a grammar, something that they can do independently, read a book. I get them all kind of set up, give as much instruction as I can to get them going, and then I go work with my littles. So I don't do every day with my very youngest, who's 3, she's almost 4. But I will start with her, and we do all aboard the animal train. It takes about 30 minutes, and it's just laid out very easy. So there's always a cleanup time. This is the quick version. Cleanup, together time, that's always with me. Surprise time, which is like a little activity with her. Story time, which is reading a book, obviously. And then outside time, we try and get outside. And that's how her little time goes. And I feel like when you start with the littles first, it kind of fills their little bucket. I talk about this a lot in my videos, like fill up their littlest buckets first, and then they're kind of more willing to go play independently or together when they've been fed into by mom. They got that one-on-one time with me. They don't feel like they've just been having to been pushed aside all day. They get that special time with mom. And that's how I really look at this time. I'm not pushing hard. We gotta learn all this stuff hard. It's just that sweet time with them to do that. Sweet time with her. So that's what we do. And then I move on. I check on my olders, see how they're doing, maybe change subjects. And then I go to my next youngest one, who's doing kindergarten right now. And then I work with her. And I just, open up my teacher's manual, and whichever day we look at the grid, and we just work our way down, and then she's done. And that takes about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, but we try and get that done quickly. So that's with my kindergarten. So now I've got 2 done, plus I've got, math done with my olders. I've gotten maybe some language lessons. I keep saying language lessons. If you don't know what that is, My Father's World has language lessons for today. It's part of their English program or language arts, and all my girls use it, and we love it. It's a great English program that's very easy lessons. I shouldn't say easy all the time, but like easy to teach and implement, and we can get them done in a reasonable time. They've gotten some of those done, maybe, or like I got started with them and then I can finish up with them. My olders, if they have writing assignments, they've gotten that typed up, and maybe I need to edit them, but we're not there yet. So now my littles are done, so I go and check back with my olders, and we finish up all that stuff that needs to be done. So like I said, math, language lessons, spelling, grammar, or writing assignments. I get all that done in the morning. Then we have lunch. And lunchtime, typically, when we're sitting down together, we'll try and do a read aloud. That doesn't always happen. I'm just want to share like where we could put in a read aloud if you can't do it at nighttime. So we'll do our read aloud. So now we're looking about 12:30 now, and we've gotten a lot done. If I go look at my grids, I've gotten spelling done, I've gotten Bible done, spelling done, English done, math done, and maybe even reading done with my older ones. And so all that's left then is going to be history, science, art, and music, and then a read aloud. And so how do I fit that in? Well, we always have a rest time in our house, which I highly recommend, especially if you have a lot of kids. It gives you a chance to kind of reset, to prepare to teach the older kids in the afternoon, and just have that moment to catch your breath. And I need it. I'm guessing a lot of you probably need it too. So after that, at 2 o'clock sharp, like I said, their independent work needs to be done. So I'll go over it one more time. That'd be spelling, English, writing if it's that day, and math, and maybe reading. Sometimes I have some that like to read at night, like in their beds, and I allow that. Okay, so then at 2 o'clock, we always start with history, and all my kids like to be a part of it. That may not work in your house, and that's totally fine, but in our house, that's how we do it right now. Now, I know that like they are not necessarily, my littlest ones aren't learning the same as my older ones, and I don't expect from them the same. But they all like to sit together and color or play with Play-Doh or paint. Like, it's a great time to just kind of be still together. And so we do history together. Or right now, it's kind of more of a geography lesson. So geography or history together. Then, I'll tell you, we actually will go down to either then music or art, because my oldest has a different science because of our grade levels. So I'll do either the music lesson for that day or the art lesson for that day. And then we're pretty much done in the afternoon, except for my middle 2 who still have science to do. So then we'll do science after that. And we can pretty much be done before 4 o'clock. So that gives 2 full hours to work with them. And I realize the season that we're in, this totally works for us. And I know that you may be in a season where you have itty bitties and like, that's not possible. And I'll share with you, I think I shared it in the last video, but if not, homeschool when they're napping, or somehow have them have little busy bins that you pull out during school time so that they can be busy, but you can focus with your older ones. So there is ways to homeschool even with the little ones at home, but this is how we do it right now. So then I do science, and all my littles, all 4 of my littles, even though they're not all doing this science, they all love to sit in because the experiments are fun. And so we try and all do that together. And let's see, what else? And then finally, we do our read aloud. And if we didn't do it at lunchtime, we do it in the evening time before bedtime, or at bedtime, And they really enjoy that. It kind of calms us all down, and they're really enjoying the read aloud, so we do it then. Now that would even include my second graders, her read aloud that we would do then as well, either in the morning or at lunchtime or in the evening. And we just read them all together. Now I didn't include in book basket, and My Father's World has a great book basket in all their grade levels. And so it's fun if you can prepare ahead of time to look at which week you're on with each of your kiddos, and you can get the books from the library, and then your littles could be looking at the books, the picture books, during school with your older ones, and then when you're doing school with your younger ones, your olders can be looking at or reading the book basket books for their grade levels. And so it feels like sometimes you're juggling a lot, but once you find your rhythm, it goes so smoothly. I mean, we definitely have not unperfect days, but I feel like the more we get our rhythm, and it just becomes, this is part of our home. This is what we do in a day. We do school at home. And my girls are just used to it. And I want to encourage you, if you're just bringing kids home and you feel like this is going crazy, it may feel that way to start with, but if you keep it going, keep it keeping, it becomes just part of your family culture, really. This is what we do. And so don't be discouraged if you first bring them home and it doesn't look like this. It may not. You have to make the homeschooling work for you. And so I hope this video was encouraging to you and just showed you a quick how we do homeschooling, because I even asked my husband, how can I share quickly how to homeschool multiple children? And he said, I think you just need to tell him what you do. I was like, that's a good idea. I'll just do that. And so this is what we do. And like I said, I'll repeat one more time. Don't forget to check out that longer video if you're interested in seeing other areas. I also share some things about what My Father's World shares about homeschooling multiple ages or different grade levels. And so make sure that you check that video out as well. I'll also have linked here is their website for My Father's World, mfwbooks.com. And there is so much fun stuff to look at with all the curriculums. And you can see, they even have a thing so you can put in which ages your kids are and see where they'll be at as you homeschool multiple children. It's kind of a neat part of the website, I think, to see. Lastly, you can call them, and I'll have that number here. Okay, you can call them at 573-202-2000. If you have any more questions on homeschooling multiple children, they have a wealth of information at their call center and would love to hear from you. And they're so sweet. They'll call and pray with you, and it is such a blessing for us as we're going on this journey together, homeschooling. So thank you again for stopping by, and if you like this video, go check out that long one. All right. We'll see you at the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.